In an emergency press conference, NewJeans have announced that they are leaving Ador and that their contracts are terminated. But is it really that easy? No, of course not. Not if Ador has anything to say about it, which of course they've responded. Let's take a look into the content of the emergency press conference, Ador's response to everything, and honestly everything in between, because it's something. I need not only one stress ball, not 2 stress balls, but 3 stress balls for this story today. If you're interested, of course, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. But of course, let's get into the press conference, the emergency press conference. So of course today marks the 14th day since NewJeans sent their official letter of certification to Ador, basically saying that if you don't rectify these contract violations, then we are terminating our contract with you. The 14 days thing. If our demands for rectification are not accepted, we will terminate our exclusive contracts. So today is the day. Today is the day. And it seems that Ador hadn't really responded in time. I mean, they had 14 days, but we'll get into that. Don't worry. We'll get into that. Shall we read a translation of this press conference? Here's the first part. They start off, before we begin, we wanted to reiterate that the YouTube live we held in September and the certification of contents we sent 2 weeks with demands for rectification were decided and prepared together by all 5 of us. First of all, the reason we are holding this emergency press conference is because the time period for rectification from the certification of contents we sent ends at midnight tonight. However, although today's work hours are over, Hybe and the current Ador are not showing any will to make reform or to listen to our requests. Now, later on, we'll see that it does seem that Ador responded like an hour before this press conference, but that seems to be a little bit too late, right? Considering they had 14 days. But then if they did have 14 days, anyways. So continuing on, actually, tomorrow morning we are leaving for Japan and are returning next week because we have scheduled activities abroad. We were worried because we are not sure what kind of media play or media manipulation Hybe and the current Ador will do during that time, and we wanted to express our thoughts accurately. So we discussed a lot among ourselves, and we had no choice but to hold an emergency press conference today. So of course, they have things scheduled. They have things scheduled abroad, and they were worried about media play and all that jazz. So they held this emergency press conference despite the fact that the deadline would be for midnight tonight. So now they're going to mention the reason why they're leaving Ador. And given all the context that we know up until now, we can kind of understand why, but let's read it from them. The reason we are leaving Ador is very simple, and I think the reporters here know our situation are also very aware. NewJeans is an artist of Ador, and Ador is obligated to protect NewJeans. It is the most basic obligation that an agency has. Ador does not have the will or ability to protect NewJeans. If we remain here, it will be a waste of our time and our mental distress will continue. More than anything, there is nothing that we can gain in terms of our work, so the 5 of us think that there is no reason at all for us to remain at Ador. So now they get into the termination of their exclusive contracts. As a result, the exclusive contracts between NewJeans and Ador will be terminated as of November 29 at 12 a.m. KST, which is coming soon. By the time people watch the final video of this, it'll be past that time. However, Hybe and Ador are currently differentiating the 2 companies like wordplay, insisting that it cannot be a violation of contract because Hybe is at fault and not Ador. However, as everyone knows, Hybe and Ador are pretty much just one entity now. The Ador that we worked with has already changed a lot, and the directors who were at the company before were all abruptly dismissed. Now they are differentiating Hybe and Ador, and we really cannot accept the argument that we must maintain our exclusive contracts with the Ador that has been changed according to what Hybe wants, that has cut off ties with the music video director who worked hard with us, that has broken all of this trust. As a result, we demand rectification regarding the violations of our contract, and as mentioned earlier, the time period for that rectification ends at midnight tonight. I'm not sure if you saw yesterday, but they released an unwilling statement that begins with, "This statement is in response to the actions required by the certifications of content from the artist with no will for reform and only for show, as they have continuously demonstrated, and no rectification occurred for any of the requests we made." So if we remember yesterday, we were reading a statement by Ador. They basically address Honey's ignore her situation and say, it does seem quite supportive, but it doesn't really mention much else. In their certification of contents, whatever, they mentioned that they want the ignore her situation to be rectified. And Ador did mention that, but there wasn't really, they were just like, we hope Belief does something. Like, we hope Belief doesn't take this too lightly. You know, that was basically it. Like, it didn't seem like they were really clarifying anything. Like, they did say that their stance was to support Honey and NewJeans in that situation specifically, but there was nothing like, there was no plan moving forward, if that makes sense. It didn't even seem like it was anything to do with their content of certification. So they continue on to say, we expressed our opinions on several occasions, such as through the live broadcast and through the certification of contents, but we are so tired of their insincere attitude, and we felt once again that they have no sincerity towards us and that have no desire at all to listen to our requests. Work hours have passed and less than 4 hours remain until midnight, but no rectification has been made, so the 5 of us will terminate our contracts immediately at midnight on November 29th. So again, they're announcing that their contracts are terminated. Now, whether or not they can just terminate their contracts so easily is definitely up for debate. Ador definitely has something to say about that, and we'll get into Ador's response to that after. So then we get to what their plans are after they leave Ador, which they're saying that they are currently leaving Ador, essentially. When our exclusive contracts are terminated, the 5 of us will no longer be artists of Ador, breaking away from Ador. We plan on freely carrying out the activities that we sincerely want. However, we will carry out the promised and contracted activities we have scheduled already. We will also carry out the contracted advertisement deals as planned. So they're going to still continue on with whatever they had planned previously, including brand deals and so on. Hence why they're going to Japan right after this, right? And hence why Danielle literally attended like a fashion event for Celine right before this press conference, it seems. We'll see that later as well. Continuing on, we wanted to relay that we are truly thankful to the advertisers who always support us and that they do not have to worry. We do not want to cause any harm to others due to our contract termination. We do not want that. I mean, I can imagine it would cause some conflict, right? Like, you have these brand deals, and I'm sure these brand deals are planned super in advance. And then you're like, hey, we want to terminate our contract, but we're still going to carry it out. I truly do wonder what the brands think of this image-wise. Do you know what I mean? So then, of course, we've been discussing this for such a long time. Wait a minute. Let's change of scenery for a little bit. We've been discussing since the beginning of time, since the beginning that this all happened, how much would it cost for NewJeans to end their contracts? Because of course, it seemed like they would want to end their contracts from the beginning, right? So how much would that cost? And we've had people estimate around, what was it? Like, was it 2 million per person? I don't remember the exact number, but it was a super high number. But we've been discussing this forever. People, estimating how much it would cost for them to get out of their exclusive contracts. And they actually mentioned this in their emergency press conference. We also saw several articles about penalties for breach of contract. We did not violate our exclusive contracts, and we have never violated them. Until now, we have been putting our full effort to carry out activities. So we think that there's no reason for us to pay penalties. Actually, the current Ador and Hybe violated the contracts, leading to the current situation. So we believe the current Ador and Hybe are the ones who are responsible. So they're saying, actually, we don't have to pay anything. You guys are the ones who violated this contract. So you guys should be paying, not us. But of course, we've already discussed this so many times that if they were to try to end their contracts, there would be huge penalties to pay, right? And I feel like Ador still feels that way, which we're going to get into. So then for the future of NewJeans, right? Because on top of having to pay penalties, we've also talked about the probability that they wouldn't be able to keep their name, NewJeans, right? Usually companies hold the rights to that. We've seen this before for other groups who've had to, leave their companies and not retain their name. Sometimes they can, but sometimes they can't. For example, Beast, who became Highlight. They couldn't keep their name Beast. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Edon, he became Dawn after the fact. Like, sometimes you can't even keep like your own personal name that you use. So this is what they have to say about that. Lastly, when midnight passes tonight, there's a possibility that the 5 of us may not be able to use the name NewJeans for the time being, despite our will. However, the essence that the 5 of us are NewJeans will not change at all, and we do not have any thoughts of giving up the name NewJeans. To some people, NewJeans may just feel like a name or a trademark issue, but it is not that simple to us. It is a name that contains the meaning of everything we have achieved from the first day that the 5 of us met until now. So we will continue to work to secure the rights to the name NewJeans. So they do, of course, still want to keep the name NewJeans. They still want to make music. They still want to live out their dreams, just not under Ador. So then it comes to the topic of mistreatment, which we've talked about before. We talked about it yesterday, actually, with the whole honey law thing, how some people thought that naming it the honey law is inappropriate. Maybe it shouldn't be named the honey. It shouldn't be named after her. You know, people have been quite divisive over the whole bullying allegations, especially when it comes to the ignore her situation, right? So let's see what they had to say about their mistreatment, essentially. We have faced mistreatment not just towards us, but also towards our staff. Countless preventions and contradictions, deliberate miscommunication, and manipulation regarding multiple areas. It is a company that no longer has any sincerity in the art of music that is created, is rather fixated on appearing like a well-working company despite only having thoughts about making money, and does not have any conscience about the negative effect they create through their non-authentic means. This is not the type of work ethic we respect nor want to be a part of, and to continue working under a company with no intention of protecting NewJeans would only do us harm. So that is why we, the five of us together, have agreed to leave Ador, and for us to clearly express ourselves before misleading information is released regarding this, we have chosen to hold an emergency press conference today. There's nothing about disbandment. In fact, they're basically saying we're going to fight to keep the name NewJeans. We're going to fight for it. We want to continue living our dreams, continue making music. So there's nothing about disbandment. I mean, obviously they want to, they're saying, they're literally telling us that they're leaving their company, that they want to end their contracts. I mean, they're saying their contracts are ended. Again, can you just end a contract like that? I don't really think so. But, you know, in regards to that, this is what they're saying. So basically, once we leave Ador, we will aim to pursue freely the activities that we really desire. So in terms of disbandment, again, there's nothing concrete about that. In fact, they're saying we still want to continue like this. Especially with the schedules that have already been arranged, we will try our best to continue them without any complications. We really wish to be able to release new music for Bunnies next year as soon as possible, whenever, and we really hope that we have the opportunity to meet you guys from all around the world. Lastly, we are well aware that from today, we may not be able to use our current name, NewJeans. However, that doesn't mean we are giving up on the name at all, and we will continue to fight for NewJeans. Regardless of our name, just remember that NewJeans never dies. So again, NewJeans never dies. In terms of disbandment, I mean, it depends what you think of disbandment, right? They want to leave Ador. I don't think this would be without complications. And again, Ador has responded to this. Ador has responded. They do not feel the same way. They absolutely do not feel the same way. But according to NewJeans, NewJeans never die. They want to literally release music next year. I mean, they must have some type of plan in motion, right? They have some type of plan in motion. Whether or not it'll work, we don't know. So ending off, we have Minji saying, I believe that a person's mental attitude is very important. A courageous person can change the world and live their life more independently. I don't think everyone has the courage to take action for whatever they set their mind on, rather than measuring how much they are capable of achieving. For me, it was possible because I also had bunnies, our fans who are by my side and my members, and I gained a lot of courage from seeing Min Hee-jin. What I have seen while working with her is that she always worked the most busily, and there were always good people by her side. She also once said that she wants to set a precedent, and those words really hit me and became a great source of courage. So I know already people are going to take issue with them mentioning Min Hee-jin. Personally, I don't take it as a surprise in the slightest. They have been so vocal about supporting Min Hee-jin from the very beginning of this. So I'm personally not surprised, but you can, of course, let me know what you think about all this. I believe that nothing can be resolved without taking action for yourself, and no one can resolve it for you. This is why the five of us prepared this occasion today. And we prepared it because we wanted to share a position with dignity. Of course, a lot will happen from now on, and we don't know what kind of disturbances there will be, but the five of us decided to work together to enjoy the adventure, the challenge ahead. We hope you can support and watch over our path ahead. Lastly, whether it is school or work, I hope everyone can have an environment where they can work with respect for each other and without harassment. Thank you. So of course, that's not it for the press conference. This is just some parts of the press conference that were translated. We'll look into some other responses as well. I think there's some funny responses to some things that we can see. Here's like a rough translation. Basically, she was asked if she had anything to say to Bang Si-hyuk, and she was kind of like, you know, we want to continue to do good work with CEO Min Hee-jin, and I don't have anything to say to that person. So let's just see.
말씀드린 대로 저희는 민희진 대표님과 앞으로도 좋은 활동 하고 싶고요. 그분께 따로 드릴 말씀은 없는 것 같습니다.
I just think this video is so funny. Again, that's kind of like a rough translation, right? Like I don't have anything to say to that person. So I keep seeing people say, I'm happy that NewJeans are finally free. Here's the thing. I don't know that NewJeans are finally free in this. And this is where Ador's statement or Ador's response to this comes into play. I just want to take a look at Danielle saying NewJeans never die, just for the sake of it. I just want to see this.
Just remember that NewJeans never dies.
Just to add to the video, before we get into Ador's statement, it does seem that Ador responded to NewJeans about an hour before the press conference, which could seem a little bit late, right? You have 14 days, but then again, if you have 14 days, you have 14 days, but it seems a little bit late, right? An hour before the press conference, but here it is. They're being asked, I'm curious about if you guys received a response from Ador regarding the legal notice. What did they respond with? And they say, yes, they sent in the response 1 hour ago before this. So it was a bit late, but we all read it. Upon reading the email, it was quite serious. They stated in the email that 14 days given was not enough, that they are sad they cannot work this out with the members. There was stuff that was out of Ador's control. However, there's no action taken, and we also had made these demands during our live in September. They were never interested in the legal notice, and the response was filed with their lies and excuses. We will be officially terminating our contract on the 29th. And Hidden saying, it is planned that the response from Ador will be made public tomorrow. But we actually have a response today. But interestingly, it seems that before this press conference, that Danielle was at a Céline event. Like, she was just continuing her job all the way up until the press conference. And they seem to be continuing their job after the press conference. As they said, they're going to continue with their brand deals and everything that had been planned out previously, right? But people thought it was really funny that, like, up until the press conference, she was still working. Of course, let's finally get into Ador's response, because they're claiming that NewJeans did this press conference before receiving Ador's response. They're claiming that they didn't violate any contracts. So NewJeans contracts are actually still valid according to them, and they should still continue out their work as planned, which NewJeans is still going to continue out their work as planned, but I don't think at the same capacity that Ador expects them to, right? And in their statement, they also say that they've requested meetings, but those meetings just haven't happened. So let's read it. This is an announcement from Ador. We regret that a press conference to announce the termination of exclusive contracts was planned and conducted even before receiving a response to the certification of contents and without sufficient review. Ador, as a party of the exclusive contracts, has not violated the contracts, and claiming that the trust has been unilaterally broken does not constitute grounds for termination. So we have on one side NewJeans saying that these contracts are terminated. We terminated these contracts, and Ador is like, actually, you can't. You're not doing that. That's not happening, right? The exclusive contracts between Ador and the NewJeans members remain valid. Therefore, we expect them to continue their scheduled activities ahead together with Ador as they have until now. So for Ador, they're like, no, you guys are continuing as normal. Nothing has changed according to Ador, because these contracts according to Ador are still valid. We have requested several meetings with the artists, but they were not carried out. We hope that even now we can open our hearts and have sincere conversations together. Ador will do our best to support NewJeans in their activities and help them go further as global artists. So there we have Ador's statement. Basically, it's nothing new, really, is it? Is anyone surprised by this? What do you think of this response? I've been saying for a while now that it almost seems like it's a game of chicken. Like, it just seems like they're both trying to see who is going to give in first. And Ador is just like, obviously not giving in. NewJeans is obviously not giving in. So where do we go from here, right? Maybe we're thinking too negatively of it, but we have so much evidence to think negatively of situations like this, because we've seen so many groups just absolutely be destroyed by their companies after leaving them and having to change names, and it's just never the same. But maybe in this new day and age, it's going to be different. I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know the law. Like, I don't know the exact terms of their none of us know the exact terms of their contracts. And it's not unheard of for someone to leave their group and maintain the name of their group. It doesn't seem like Ador would want that to happen. I mean, of course, when they maintain the name of their group, they're usually on good terms with their companies, aren't they? If it were just as easy as like leaving a company, they would have just left, right? But it's been dragged out for almost a year, hasn't it? It's been almost a year of this back and forth, and it's gonna be long. Of course it's gonna be long. NewJeans, every time something happens with NewJeans, there's always something going on phoning. They'll change their status or something. So let's see what they've been doing on phoning since all of this has happened. We have all these hearts. Following the hearts from the members, netizens noticed that Honey changed her status to the caption, "See you on the other side." See you on the other side. Then Minji posted a picture from the manga Inuyasha. Oh, it's like she's saying goodbye, basically. So people are interpreting this as them saying goodbye, essentially. Goodbye, everyone. Meme on Minji profile picture and phoning. Jumping in Happy Bear in the press con. They are happy and free. There's nothing to be sad about. What do you think of that? RIP phone. Some people are thinking, but like, what's going to happen with phoning? I saw this one tweet that was like, so what's going to happen with phoning? Because I paid up front for like a year subscription. Probably last messages on phoning, just a bunch of hearts. This is literally the tweet I saw. So what's going to happen with phoning? I paid a subscription for a whole year. So let me know your predictions. What do you think is going to happen with NewJeans? Do you like, I don't even know. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen with phoning? And that's the thing, right? When it comes to like big companies, they are going to drag this out. They're going, I'm predicting so many lawsuits, right? Like if you have a group making so much money, I mean, you're not just going to let that go realistically, right? Like that's the thing. It's definitely not going to be just as simple as, hey, we're terminating our contracts, because you also have the other company who's like, actually you didn't, because these contracts are valid, but then they're saying their contracts are invalid. So it literally is up to a court of law, isn't it? Because if one party is saying this happened and another party is saying that happened, they're not agreeing. They're obviously not agreeing on it, right? I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the law. I don't know the clauses in their contracts. I don't know all those details. You know, there could be something that comes out of this that surprises all of us, right? We can make all the predictions. We could look at, you know, previous legal issues to help inform what we think is going to happen here, but we don't know the details. Maybe they have like something up their sleeve that we have no idea about. Like, we don't know, right? That is basically it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much, and a huge welcome to all of our new members. How exciting. So I already said that I'm gonna get going. You're gonna get going too. As for me, I'm gonna get going. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.